Hey, live, learn, grow, checking in. Yes, I'm in the vehicle, in traffic. But so anyway, I want to just share some love with you guys. One thing I don't always do is say my name, and that's because I assume pretty much everybody watching this video knows it. But I am Lucretia McKinney, and I am your health and wellness coach. This is Live, Learn, Grow. Live, Learn, Grow is about 1, making the choice to live, 2, continuing to learn, and if you do that, you will grow, right? That simple. So what I want to talk about today is a clean slate. You know, so much happens in life. Like, right, we talk about life and we talk about the issues of life and we talk about all those things that happen along the way. But we accumulate a lot in this life. And so I'm going to talk about it from the standpoint of debt. But debt not only being something on your credit report, I'm going to talk about your life's report. The stuff that we go through, right? The stuff that we acquire and we carry with us after we go through it, that we don't let go of, you know, that becomes a wound on us, or it becomes a burden in some way that we just kind of pack in our suitcase in this journey called life, and we tote it along with us from day to day. And toting those things makes it heavy, right? It makes the journey that much harder. Now, one side of the fence, we can look at it and say, yeah, carrying some of those things has made me stronger. But the only time when you realize your strength is when you drop them off. It's when you stop carrying that load and you realize this muscle that was developed during the time you carried it, right? Like we've talked about exercise before, that time under tension, it's the great parallel for our life. It's the same way. So carrying those heavy loads throughout life, it definitely develops us. It definitely grows us, and it gives us a strength that we didn't have before. But dropping it off, right? Cleaning that slate is another part of strength. Being able to drop it off and letting it go and leaving it where it is. And remember that your debts don't define you. The loads that you carry do not define who you are. The stuff that you have accumulated is not who you are. You are what you absorb. So if we don't absorb all of those negative things, if we don't absorb those hurts, if we don't absorb those pains, it's not a part of who you are. It's just something that you toted with you along the way, and you can wipe it clean. You can drop it off and leave it where it is. And when you do that, you will realize the strength that you've gained in the process. You know, it's T.D. Jakes said something, and I'm gonna do my best to relay this, you know, definitely not in the way that he does, because he's very eloquent with his words. So it's not going to be the same. But, you know, we have this thing inside of us that we want to fit in, right? It's just there. Like, you don't walk around thinking about it, but it's a part of how we're built as people. You know, we're communal. Like, that's kind of how we're wired, relational. So you want to fit in. So like if you were going to a black tie event, or I should say maybe like a wedding, an event, a dinner, church, or whatever, something new you've never been to, you'll ask, you know, what's the dress? What's the attire? Because you want to fit in. You want to be like everybody else in some kind of way. And so what happens in life when we acquire these things and our load gets heavy, there's a subtle thing that can twist in our brain where we allow the expectation of others to enslave us, to entrap us in this framework that is not who we are. And the only reason that happens is because of that little thing that makes us want to fit in. And as we acquire loads and we get weighted down with stuff, it's easy to let those little things seep into our conscious, right? Into our psyche. And then we replay this thing in our head, and it makes us feel like what we're doing is not enough, or the load that we have is too much, therefore we are this thing that we're carrying. But I'm just here to say, we can wipe the slate clean. We are not what we carry. We are not what we acquire. We are what we absorb. We are something greater than the mishaps that we've walked through. If you've walked through it, you're not there anymore. And Joyce Meyer said it best when she said, I am not where I want to be, but thank God I'm not where I used to be. And we have to keep our mind set on the thing that we're moving towards, because your best days are before you, not behind you. So don't let anybody twist and turn and let that record play that's somebody else's voice that's not you, that takes away from who you are. Don't allow that to zap the life that you were created to have, because it can, right? If you believe it and you start playing it enough in your head, then you'll start adapting to it, even though it's not who you are. So don't allow that to happen. Drop off your loads. Remember who you are. Remember that you are not what you've been through, and that tomorrow and today, it's always an opportunity to do better than we did yesterday. All right, guys, this is Live, Learn, Grow. Once again, I am Lucretia McKinney, your health and wellness coach. I hope y'all have an awesome day. Live, Learn, Grow.